My name is Samina Thind. I'm licensed to practice in Alberta and Nova Scotia, Canada. I passed the QLTS assessments on my first attempt. I completed my undergraduate and Juris Doctor degrees in Nova Scotia at Dalhousie University. I then articled in Nova Scotia. I was called to the bar in 2010. I then went to King's College London and completed my master's. I came back to Canada for 2 years and have been practicing at a national law firm ever since. I decided to take the QLTS assessments because I was moving back to London, and I was hoping that prospective employers will look more favorably upon me if I'm dual qualified. When I decided that I wanted to take the QLTS assessments, I was still working full-time, and I needed something or someone to tell me what to study, what not to study, what the format of the assessments would be, and I simply didn't have enough time to figure it out myself. So I went online and did some research, and the QLTS School just seemed to be the premier prep course to take, and then I enrolled. My experience with the QLTS School was nothing but positive. The materials gave me everything I needed to pass the assessments. On top of that, having a tutor available daily by email and Skype to answer all of my questions, whether they be on the format of the exam or on the substance of a certain area of law, and to guide me through the assessments, that was very invaluable. I would have to say I found the mock exams and the model answers the most beneficial aspect of the prep course. I found the exams gave me a fairly good grasp on the types of questions that would be asked during the actual assessments, and also gave me an idea of what the examiners would be looking for in my answers. In particular, I found the MCT question bank to be quite helpful. As I was still working while I was studying for the exams, I spent about 3 to 4 hours every weeknight studying, and then during the weekends I dedicated each day to studying, so about, I would say, 10 to 12 hours on the weekends per day. I felt fairly confident when I was going into all 3 of the exams. There's always that inkling of doubt, more so when I was writing the MCT than the OSCE and the TLST, but overall I was quite certain I would pass. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer. I practice mainly mergers and acquisitions, but I do some financing and real estate transactions as well. I absolutely feel that a prep course is necessary for the MCT and the OSCE. The materials were great in that they narrowed down exactly what you needed to study and focus on. The MCT materials were particularly helpful in that regard, as a lot of the times they said you do not need to learn this area of the law or this subset of the law. I found that very helpful. My advice would be to prepare well in advance for the assessments, especially if you're working while you're studying, and if you can, to definitely take a prep course. If someone is working full-time while they're studying for the assessments, I would recommend studying for the MCT at least 3 months in advance, and perhaps for the OSCE 1 to 2 months. I would recommend the QLTS School to everyone from any jurisdiction, even though you're coming from a common law jurisdiction like myself. The law is still different. in more ways than you would initially have thought. And for those who are not coming from a common law jurisdiction, they would definitely benefit as well. I would say time management and becoming accustomed to being available to your clients more so than lawyers were in the past. Now that we have our iPhones and our Blackberries attached to our hips, our clients know this and they expect you to be available.